If traditional grip was better than match grip, then why not play double traditional? Why doesn't anybody do this? I often see some people think that traditional grip means that you're an advanced snare line and match grip means that you're like a beginner snare line. And as somebody who marched in high school, college, and DCI with traditional grip, like I only play match grip now. It's so limiting to play with this technique. Even though it might look cool or might feel interesting, it's just not as versatile as playing on match grip. A question that you should ask yourself if you are teaching a group is, do you want to teach a bunch of snare drummers or do you want to teach a bunch of percussionists? And there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to that, but it just depends on like where you want them to be able to be after they graduate from the line that you're working on. Do you want them to continue to march just on snare and only play snare, or possibly even play traditional on the drum kit? Or do you want them to be able to play other instruments like timpani or marimba or whatever? The groups that I worked with, whenever we switched over from traditional to match grip, they mostly bought into it because they were percussionists rather than snare drummers. There was one year where we actually had the snare line swap with the tenor line so that the snares played tenors for a movement and the tenors played snares and vice versa. But we also had, for many different years, the battery would actually go into the front ensemble, into the pit, and they would play four mallets during the ballad. And often the strongest marimba players were in the battery. They were marching in the battery, but they were really good at playing like marimba and other things because, again, we were preparing people to be percussionists and not just drummers. In the spring, we also didn't have a WGI line. Instead, what we had was a variety of percussion ensembles that were both instructor-led by myself and some of the other instructors, or student-led. So the students would meet on their own time, and they would sometimes compose or arrange their own music and work on that on their own. And then we would perform that in our own separate concert just for percussionists. So it's a great way to get students to be able to learn a variety of instruments.